Right now on GMSA, final preparations are underway in Florida ahead of Hurricane Milton's landfall. We'll hear from our sister station in Orlando about what's going on right now on the ground.
Plus, after 2 deaths on San Antonio walking trails in less than 10 days, park police are working to keep people safe. We went on a ride along to see what they're up to.
Taking a live look outside with live cam. Of course, we got a jam-packed show to get to. An incident happening on the roadways. Milton, Mia's coming in with the forecast. Everything you need to know right now.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning. Happy hump day. 6 a.m. on your Wednesday, October the 9th.
All right, already off to a very busy start. So thanks again for hanging out with us on GMSA. We've got a lot to get to this half hour. We're going to get to Hurricane Milton. We're going to also now check in with Mia Montgomery to see also how things are going on here at home. Good morning, Mia.
Good morning, you guys. Happy Wednesday. It is a very pleasant start to this Wednesday out there. We had a little bit more drier air move in yesterday and through the overnight, so temperatures are comfortable to step out to. 66 degrees right now in San Antonio. New Braunfels now down to 63. Same over in Seguin. Check out parts of the Hill Country. Good morning to you in Bernie as well as Kerrville, where temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s to kickstart the day. Like yesterday, once the sun comes up, we are going to see plenty of it. Combine that with the low humidity. High temperatures are expected to soar back into the mid 90s. Yesterday, we broke a record. We hit 96. Today, more record challenging warmth is in the forecast. If that 95 verifies, it will break the existing record high for the day of 94 that was set back in 2014. Also, winds sustained out of the east-northeast at about 3 to 10 miles per hour. Looking ahead here at home, more of the same is in store. Generally quiet with these comfortable mornings leading in hotter than average afternoons, but it is a far different story for our friends off to the east in Florida as they continue to prepare for Hurricane Milton. As of the latest update from the National Hurricane Center, a powerful Category 5 hurricane. It is on its final approach to the Sunshine State, likely making landfall as a major hurricane near or just south of Tampa Bay late tonight and into early Thursday. We'll have the latest forecast track for you on this coming up in just a few, guys.
Well, thank you very much, Mia. This morning, we're tracking Hurricane Milton as it barrels towards Florida's west coast. And of course, state officials are warning residents about the dangers of that storm as emergency crews gather at staging areas before landfall.
Right now, we're looking at a tower cam in Tampa, Florida. This is a live feed right now near the path of the storm expected overnight into Thursday morning. Again, a bit hazy out there. Pretty sure a lot of people are taking heed to the warnings right now as they prepare for this big catastrophic storm.
Yeah, it seems pretty ominous kind of looking there. Probably the calm before the storm, literally.
And right now, Milton is a Category 5 hurricane expected to weaken to a 3 or 4 when it makes landfall later tonight.
But it is still expected to cause major devastation in that area. As ABC's Rena Roy tells us, the evacuation window is quickly closing as that storm moves in.
This morning, time is running out to prepare for historic Hurricane Milton as the monster storm closes in on Florida.
This is destructive, life-threatening storm surge, not a safe environment to stay in. So if you are in one of those storm surge evacuation zones along the west coast of Florida, please heed that evacuation advice.
Milton expected to make landfall late tonight as a Category 3 or 4 hurricane, bringing up to 18 inches of rain and a record storm surge of up to 15 feet in the Tampa Bay area. It has the potential to be one of the most destructive hurricanes on record for the state of Florida.
Sarasota County has issued an evacuation for your area.
Authorities driving through coastal neighborhoods warning people to leave while they still can, and if not, prepare for the worst.
Write your name on your arm so we can identify you. We're all talking the same way. Get out of these areas because we can replace your home. We can't replace your life.
Airlines added thousands of seats, allowing more people to get out.
The rain and the wind and all that, and I said, I have to go.
Hurricane hunters flying directly into Milton to gather data, their plane jerking around in extreme turbulence. The governor says the National Guard storm mobilization is likely the largest in state history, with thousands of troops activated. 34 search and rescue planes are on standby, and 37,000 linemen are either in Florida or on the way to help with power outages. One major concern, coastal areas still filled with piles of debris from Hurricane Helene, despite frantic cleanup efforts in recent days. In some areas, a desperate struggle to find gas. More than 30% of gas stations have already run dry in the Fort Myers, Naples area.
It's been I would say, a tremendous task to get gas. And some areas, including Charlotte County south of Tampa, are now extending evacuation orders further inland because of storm surge concerns. Rena Roy, ABC News, Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, a lot of things going on out there.
Very terrifying.
And of course, CPS Energy crews also out there to try and help some of those residents out.
Let's take a look out now at our roadways. Of course, we got a lot of situations to get to specifically, but right here is a big mess that we've been looking at all morning.
This is a doozy. 35 right there at Florida Street. Looks like we have a jackknife 18-wheeler, and it is going to cause a major backup for our drivers on the lower levels on 35 in the downtown area. But let's go ahead and go to Alex Gomez, because he was the first on the scene out there. And what is the latest, Alex? Are there any more details that you could tell us?
Well, it looks like they actually closed down the lower level 35 northbound because of that 18-wheeler accident. Now, that 18-wheeler has since backed its way down the exit, and it already left the scene. So right now we're just doing a little bit of a cleanup. Shout out to SAPD and these officers. They're actually scooping up some of that sand and just pushing it out of the way. But again, 35 northbound is going to be closed until they completely get this cleaned up. And the upper level seems to be where you can actually get past through this area. But 35 north, again, from San Pedro back to South Alamo, that's where I'm starting to see the slowdown, RJ.
Okay, so some great information there from Alex. Again, 35 area being affected by this, but hopefully we could get all this cleared out here in just a bit. Jaffney?
Thank you, RJ. New this morning, San Antonio fire crews say that a gas line is being blamed for a double house fire last night on the city's south side. A gas line broke after a woman was cooking inside of her RV on Cantrell Drive near I-35 around 8:30 p.m. Crews say that the RV was in between two houses where the fire quickly spread. Everyone got out safely, fortunately, and the RV was destroyed. But while the two houses also suffered damage, we'll have more updates on this story later today. And a man is hurt this morning after being hit by a car on the city's far southwest side. It happened around 4:30 on the 6500 block of Amberwood Drive near Royal Gate Park and Southwest Military Drive. Police say that the man was taken to the hospital in critical condition. There's no word yet on what charges the driver will face. We have more on this story later today.
An update now to some breaking news that we had yesterday afternoon. A wanted felon and gang member has been shot and killed by a deputy with Bexar County Sheriff's Office in what was a chase that turned into a shooting on the west side of town. And of course, this all happening yesterday afternoon. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says that the San Antonio Police Street Crimes Unit asked for help in monitoring the 43-year-old suspect. When deputies tried to pull that suspect over out there in Castroville Road, the high-speed chase began. It finally ended at historic Old Highway 90 and the 151 intersection. The sheriff says that both SAPD officers and BCSO deputies surrounded the suspect's vehicle at that intersection, and that's when the suspect started ramming authorities' cars to try and get away.
At a certain point, my deputy was out on foot next to his patrol car, and it appeared the suspect was starting to ram his way out and was turning in the direction of the deputy. The deputy fired several shots into the driver's side door.
The sheriff says the 43-year-old suspect died at the scene. A female passenger of his was hit in the leg and taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The deputy who shot the man is a 13-year-old veteran of BCSO and will be placed on administrative leave due to protocol when an officer is involved in a shooting.
In the last 2 weeks, 2 bodies have been found on separate trailheads in different incidents. Stacy Dramiga was found dead back on September 23rd near a trail on the east side. Police say the 63-year-old died from blunt force trauma to her head, and they're investigating it as a homicide.
Then 4 days ago, San Antonio Park Police found another body on a different north side trail. Foul play is suspected in that death there as well, and we're still waiting for the medical examiner to identify that individual.
But since that initial incident, KSAT has talked to lots of people on the trails. Many are worried about their safety.
Yeah, definitely. So Courtney Friedman went out to McAllister Park to ride along with Park Police to see what they are doing every day and how they look to handle that type of crime.
If you were patrolling right now, what are you looking for?
We're looking for anything that's not where it should be. A lot of times that may be an encampment. A lot of times that may be somebody starting a fire. But if it's areas that are kind of hidden, we also have the smaller four-wheel drive smaller vehicles, the ATVs. We have bridges here. Same thing we're looking for in the wooded areas. Any kind of development, anything that doesn't seem right. Someone has a medical emergency.
So each patrol officer has a specific part of the trail?
Correct.
Okay.
All around the city,
okay.
And in the inner city in the West Side Creeks. So.
And each officer typically patrols something similar so they know the area?
Exactly,
okay.
Yes.
And you oversee all of this?
Yes, I'm the commander for the ATV section for Park Police. So.
And so that job is determining where patrol officers need to be and how many?
Where we need to dedicate our directed patrols to. We do what's called crime mapping. I find out what areas are kind of hotspots for what type of activity, and then we give the appropriate type of response to that activity. And a lot of times it may be putting more officers there, but a lot of times it may be bringing in our specialized units to kind of assist us with that. Hey guys.
Yeah, this is the second round of trail stewards we've seen.
Yeah.
So if they see something that seems strange, they can call it in and you can go check it out.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's a nice thing to have.
And so when people hear that there are two separate incidents on local trails where bodies were found, possible criminal activity, that makes them scared. What should people know about what park police are doing about that?
We incorporate that into the target mapping, and we start having more directed patrol in this area, which means more officer presence and more specific patrol into the nature of whatever the situation may be, whether it be closer into the wooded areas versus just patrolling the trails.
You're not taking one officer from one location and switching it. You're adding officers on.
Correct. Okay. That would be counterproductive. We can't, at the expense of moving someone, we can't leave another area exposed.
Good.
So what we do is we rely heavily on our secondary units.
And of course, that was Courtney Freeman doing some great work right there. Lieutenant De La Plana says that the crime that they see the most are property crimes. A lot happening in the parking lots, so they patrol those too. There's also a curfew at sundown to deter crime when it's dark and to avoid wildlife that comes out at night. If you ever see something suspicious, though, you're urged to call it in. It could save someone else's life. That non-emergency number is 210-207-7273.
Yeah, see something, say something.
Oh, yeah,
Got to watch each other's back out there on the trails for sure. All right, 6:12 right now, 68 degrees outside.
Still to come before 6:30, Spurs fans will likely see Wemby in action tonight for the Spurs' second preseason game. Who else could be playing tonight against the Magic?
And if you're a parent, you definitely might be interested in the latest lawsuits against TikTok, what they're accusing the app of doing to young people's mental health.
Taking a live look right now with live cam out at San Antonio. Good morning, San Antonio. You know we're starting your day with everything you need to know specifically about your commute. Last time we checked with Alex, they were doing some cleanup out there in the area. So, hey, we'll get into that details of what your commute is looking like after this.
6:16, welcome back to GMSA. Well, if you're a parent, definitely want to listen up here because you might be interested in the latest lawsuits against TikTok.
Yeah, they're from 14 states accusing TikTok of hurting young people's mental health. Numerous studies show social media in general can harm children and teens, but the lawsuits single out TikTok as being especially dangerous. They argue that its endless scrolling content is addictive.
We know that the overuse of social media is driving an epidemic of mental health challenges for young people. TikTok is particularly effective at it.
The lawsuit says the challenge videos on the platform can encourage risky behavior and late night push notifications can disrupt sleep. TikTok says that it's proud of its efforts to protect teens. Definitely something the parents need to stay on top of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so looking ahead to next weekend, we want y'all to join us out there at Hemisphere Park on October 19th for Light the Night. Hundreds of lanterns will illuminate the San Antonio skies to celebrate, honor, and remember people impacted by blood cancer. Go ahead and check out the KSATcommunity.com page for more information. Daniela Ibarra will be emceeing this event, and we, of course, encourage people to donate to the cause.
Of course, if you're hitting the roads right now, you might want to pay attention because Alex Gomez is at a scene that might disrupt your commute.
Absolutely. So we want to check in with Alex right now. He's taking a look at our TransGuide camera. 35 at Florida Street had an 18-wheeler jackknife earlier. Let's go ahead and check in with the man with the plan and the information out there. Alex, how are things looking?
Well, we've got TxDOT heroes now on scene. They came to save the day, RJ. They've got those big brooms to just really push all that sand out of the way. Right now, we're trying to get the debris and all that sand, the barrels, pushed open so they can reopen the lower level of 35 northbound. That's why we're seeing a big slowdown 35 north from San Pedro, all the way back to Nogalitos. That's close to Highway 90, all because the lower level was shut down this morning on 35 North, RJ.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a big mess out there. So that's going past South Alamo, also the King William area. So all of our folks coming up 35, be prepared to unfortunately be sitting in some traffic.
Yes.
At least the weather's nice.
Weather is nice. We are calm here, but that's not the case for everybody.
That's not the case in Florida. I want to chat about Milton first because I know that is going to be a huge topic of conversation, not just today, but even after it makes landfall tonight, of course, and pushes across the Florida Peninsula on top of, inches of rain that the Sunshine State had seen from Helene, which made landfall almost 2 weeks ago near Tallahassee. Now here comes Hurricane Milton. This is the latest as of the 4 a.m. update in from the National Hurricane Center. We'll get a new update in at the top of the 7 a.m. hour. It is a powerful Category 5 hurricane, the center of which just to the northwest of Cuba. 160 mile per hour winds sustained. Current movement is to the northeast at 14 miles per hour. You can see some of the rain and moisture associated with Milton already spilling across the Florida Peninsula. Tampa seeing some light to moderate rain right now. Same in St. Petersburg, Bradenton as well. Even near the Fort Myers area, some heavy rain found over the past couple of hours. That's stretching up to even Orlando. And this is going to continue to be the case as the center of Milton works its way up near the west coastline of Florida. It is expected to weaken ever so slightly over the next 12 hours, but still it is going to be a powerful and dangerous major hurricane by the time it makes landfall. Right now, that is slated for near the Tampa Bay area or just off to the south, closer to Sarasota, late tonight and into the early morning hours of our Thursday. It does weaken, but still maintains that hurricane status as it crosses over the peninsula, and then it will emerge into the western Atlantic by tomorrow afternoon. So, of course, storm surge, heavy rain, flooding concerns, high winds, all expected for parts of the Sunshine State. Here's the latest projected peak storm surge. Check this out. Near Tampa, stretching all the way down to Fort Myers, 10 to 15 feet of storm surge moving onshore above ground level will be a possibility, along with rainfall totals in localized locations upwards of 12 to even 18 inches by the time all is said and done. So we'll continue to keep you posted on that with additional developments on Milton throughout the remainder of this Wednesday and even into the second half of the week as well. But for us here at home, it is the opposite. It is a nice, pleasant start to this Wednesday. We're sitting in the mid-60s right now here in San Antonio. Plenty of sunshine is going to be found throughout the remainder of the day. 87 degrees expected around lunchtime, but still, because of some drier air in place, yes, we have comfortable mornings, but also hotter than average afternoons. 95 degrees, the forecast high temperature. I think most of us will be in the low to mid-90s yet again. 95 over in Nixon, 94 in Uvalde, 92 the forecast high in Kerrville. More of the same expected over the next several days. 90s in the afternoons, but very, very comfortable mornings. Notice on Tuesday, temperatures start to trend down. There are indications that we could see a more noticeable cold front move into the region. We'll have the latest pattern change and look at that coming up in the next half hour.
Double 8 ball on Tuesday.
Yes, that's why Justin took the week off.
To get it.
Wants to come back when it gets cooler. Thanks, Mia. All right, 6:22 right now and 66 degrees outside.
Just ahead before 6:30, we have our two teams for the big game coverage game of the week. What you need to know about the Alamo Heights Victoria West Showdown.
Dupixent helps people with asthma breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. And when you can breathe better, what isn't better? This is better. This is better. That's better. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. It works with your asthma medicine to help improve lung function. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's proven to help prevent asthma attacks. And doesn't that make things better? Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Tell your doctor right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change your stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. When you can get more out of your lungs, you can do more with less asthma. And isn't that better? Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic in asthma, and now approved as an add-on treatment for adults with inadequately controlled COPD with a specific marker of inflammation.
Welcome back. We're getting ready for the iconic Clásico Regio soccer matchup between Tigres and Rayados this Saturday at the Alamo Dome.
But you only have a few hours left to sign up for the KSAT 12 Insider Sweepstakes. We've been talking about it all week long. Get your phone out right now. That QR code that you see right there, go ahead and scan it to enter.
Yes, and as we get closer to the match, the KSAT 12 in Español team out there in Monterrey talked about the fan base in San Antonio.
¿Qué opinas sobre el Clásico Regio que va a suceder en San Antonio? Es la primera vez que pasa en San Antonio. Tú sabes que San Antonio y Monterrey, ciudades hermanas. ¿Cómo ves ese partido?
No, pues se ve bien, más que nada porque los dos equipos se han reforzado muy bien y siento que va a estar bueno, la verdad. No veo un favorito, simplemente pues los dos equipos se han reforzado para esta temporada, pero espero que mis Rayados se lleven el triunfo.
Again, your phone, we know you got it in your hand right now. Pull it up and scan that QR code right now. You see on your screen our sweepstakes for KSAT Insiders to win tickets to the Clásico Regio ends today at noon.
Okay, so a few hours left here. So KSAT Insiders can enter for a chance to win 4 tickets to that match, but you have to be an insider. It is really easy to sign up. All we need to do is just sign up through your email address. And don't forget the match again this Saturday inside the Alamo Dome.
Our Week 7 big game coverage game of the week is Alamo Heights versus Victoria West Friday night.
That's right. The Mules here, these two schools will be a matchup for the first time as district rivals in 5A. And get this, both programs here coming in undefeated this season. Well, that hot streak will end for one team this Friday night. So this is definitely going to feel like a playoff game for the fans of both teams. So looking ahead, the action gets underway. 7 o'clock out there at Orem Stadium in Alamo Heights, one of the nicer stadiums in our area. We'll have highlights and post-game reaction on the night beat Friday night with Larry, Mary, Nick, and the rest of the squad. And we'll also hear from the athletes and coaches on both sides tomorrow on Good Morning San Antonio.
Also, don't forget, Spurs are back in action, y'all, tonight for the second preseason game against the Orlando Magic. And guess what? Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama, they will suit up for the game. It tips off tonight at 7 at Frostbank Center. A lot of excitement right there.
Wemby, CP3 making their Spurs debuts out there.
All right, 6:28 right now, 66 degrees outside.
All right, just ahead at 6:30, the search continues for a woman who vanished near Olmos Park late Sunday night. What we've learned about this case this morning from this overnight search.
And we're tracking Hurricane Milton as it takes aim at Florida's west coast. We'll hear from our sister station in Orlando about what's going on right now on the ground.
Right now in GMSA's the San Antonio Missions baseball team one step closer to moving into a new ballpark, while neighbors near the proposed site are putting up a fight.
And we have a new name for the new Uvalde Elementary School, how it was chosen, and when the school could open. But first, it's busy Wednesday right now on this morning, October the 9th.
That's right. We have got a lot of news to get to. Starting out here, your morning with us. Good morning, San Antonio. We're going to get right to our top story, and that is the search for, you see her right here, Suzanne Clark Simpson. She vanished on Sunday.
Now, here's another look right here at her. Simpson was last seen around 11 p.m. Sunday night in the 500 block of East Olmos Drive near Shook Avenue. Right now, you're looking right at video taking place last night at the staging area for the search for her. It was in a wooded area in Olmos Park near her home. Crews from multiple agencies, including the Texas Rangers, Texas DPS, and Olmos Park Police, are part of the search.
This is all happening at East Olmos Drive and East Contour Drive, just west of Highway 281 near the quarry. Texas DPS Sergeant Dion Cockrell told KSAT, quote, "The search will continue as long as it takes," end quote.
And of course, we'll be tracking all of this situation, the search and everything all day at KSAT, our website, and all of our streaming platforms.
Yeah, make sure you sign up for our news alerts there. While in the meantime, we're going to head out to Mia Montgomery for our other top story as she continues to track Hurricane Milton out there in the Gulf. Good morning, Mia.
Good morning. Yeah, Milton's still going to make landfall near the Tampa Bay area late tonight and into early Thursday morning, likely as a major hurricane. We're going to have the latest update on that. We're waiting for the 7 a.m. update to come in a little early from the National Hurricane Center. For now, back here at home, no impacts from Milton expected in Texas. It is a comfortable start to this Wednesday. 66 degrees here in San Antonio. We actually had some drier air work in yesterday and overnight, helping those those low temperatures fall just a little bit more compared to where we were this time yesterday at 60 degrees in Hondo, upper 50s for places like Kerrville as well as Fredericksburg. Like yesterday, once we see the sun come up, we will find plenty of it from start to finish. But on the flip side of things, yes, this drier air helps us cool down pretty efficiently through the overnight. It also means hotter than average afternoons will continue. We've got a forecast high of 95 degrees in store. If that verifies, it will break the existing record high for the day of 94 that was set back in 2014. And looking ahead, more of the same is in store. Comfortable and pleasant fall-like mornings in the low to mid 60s. High still elevated in the 90s with low humidity. There are indications, however, that we could see a more noticeable cold front work in next week. We're going to talk about those potential changes and get you that latest update on Milton coming up a little bit later in the show.
All right. Thank you very much, Mia. Take a look at your traffic authority right now. And it looks like we had cleared out that incident in the downtown area, 35 at Flores. But looking at some ongoing construction there, 35 at Olympia Parkway in the northeast side. Let's go to Alex Gomez right now. He is scanning the streets of San Antonio and Drive Cam. Alex, how are things looking out there?
Yeah, not so good, RJ, because we did have that closure at 35 northbound at San Pedro on that lower level. We're still going to see a lot of backup if you're coming in from the south side. So just be aware of that, even though the lanes are reopened. 35 northbound is still seeing a slowdown from about Martin Street all the way down to about Highway 90, RJ.
All right, that is a pretty good backup there for all of our folks coming up 35, headed out to the Burbank High School area. Thank you for that update, Alex. Well, owner responsibility, that's what elected leaders say is the solution to the dangerous dog attack problem that we're seeing in San Antonio and Bexar County.
And as Patty Santos tells us, state leaders and state law hinders city and county leaders from making stricter rules against those who own pit bulls and other so-called dangerous breeds. She joins us right now in the studio to tell us if anyone's pushing for a change in state law. Good morning, Patty.
Hey there, good morning. Here's what we learned. In Texas, it is actually illegal to put a ban or restrictive laws against specific breeds of dogs, like pit bulls. But we found San Francisco, California, is one of the few cities that have stricter requirements for pit bull owners. Now, in San Francisco, it is illegal to own a pit bull or a pit bull mix that has not been spayed or neutered. Councilwoman Melissa Cabello Haverda, the chair of the San Antonio Public Safety Committee, tells us she would support more rules around spaying or neutering requirements for pets. Now, in the past, City Council has made city ordinance changes that go against state law, but it doesn't look like this is one of those cases.
Is this an instance where perhaps you guys take on the state challenge and say, we're going to enact an ordinance that bans pit bulls or bans specific breeds?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Some could do that. That's always an option. And we have taken stands on other issues and we've been successful. This is just not something that I believe that the community has asked me to take up and that I would take up.
What do you think it would take for you to take up something like this?
Again, if community asked, if I very much believe in representative government. If the people that I represent in our city tell us we want to ban pit bulls, we want to ban Rottweilers, we want to ban Doberman Pinschers, I have to look at it. Absolutely.
So again, if you feel strong enough about these dog attacks, contact your city council representative to take action. Instead, the councilwoman says they have been pushing for more pet owner education and animal care services to increase public safety. And we also reached out to local state senators and representatives to see if they are considering any legislation to change the state law. We are still waiting to hear from them. Senator Menendez did reply and say he supports a change in state law. Now, on our website, KSAT.com, you can read more about a dangerous dog bill that Governor Abbott vetoed in 2023.
Thank you, Patty. And the bill that she mentioned was inspired by the 2023 deadly dog attack that killed 81-year-old Ramon Nahera in San Antonio. It was vetoed by Governor last year, and so far there hasn't been any movement or possible refiling of the bill ahead of the next legislature session in Austin next year. Now, we'll continue to follow up on this story on KSAT.com.
Why is it important for people to see these videos, even though they are difficult to watch?
I think it's important because it's a reminder of the failure and it's a learning experience.
And of course, that was Jesse Rizzo, the uncle of Uzziah Garcia, one of the victims of the 2022 mass shooting at Robb Elementary. He's responding to the release of more than 40 new clips of an officer's body cam footage from the tragic day where 19 students and 2 teachers were killed.
That's right. You see some of the videos posted on our website. So after more than 2 years, a court order and the city of Uvalde's initial release of hundreds of calls, texts, and the first set of videos in August. So we spoke with family members about why they feel the videos are important to watch, as difficult as it may be. And we have this full article available right now on KSAT.com. All right, staying in Uvalde right now, the district's newest school will pay tribute to the victims of Robb Elementary. It will be known as Legacy Elementary.
And the CISD board approved the name last night. Family members of the 21 killed at Robb Elementary were emotional about it all. Some of those family members and community members spent nearly a year narrowing down the names.
I pray that, the community and our future children and godchildren will remember why the school is there.
And one family member told us that he wasn't happy with the choice. He hoped the new name would be more specific.
Legacy Elementary is still under construction and will replace Robb Elementary. The Uvalde CISD Moving Forward Foundation plans to have it ready by the next school year.
So new this morning, take a look right now at this new dash cam footage just released. It shows off an off-duty Bexar County Sheriff's deputy, clinging onto a vehicle that hit him.
Yeah, first time I saw this video, I was like, whoa, that is a very scary situation. And now Bexar County deputies are searching for that suspect. The incident happening around 8 a.m. last Thursday at St. Matthew's Catholic School on the 10,700 block of Wurzbach Road.
So BCSO is trying to find 27-year-old Adrian David Arellano, who they say hit the off-duty deputy before running off. Deputies say that the collision caused the deputy to fall on top of the vehicle, where he held on as Arellano continued to drive.
Sheriff's deputies say that a bystander inside another vehicle saw the incident and decided to drive in front of Arellano to prevent him from moving forward. Arellano stopped the vehicle he was driving, but the deputy fell off and again broke his foot and hurt his head. BCSO said Arellano ran away from that scene.
San Antonio Missions baseball is one step closer to moving into a new venue. Bexar County commissioners voted to move forward with the funding plan for a new downtown ballpark. Lots of community members have voiced their opinions on the potential move, and much of that feedback has been positive. However, there is some opposition that comes from some of the people who live in the soap factory apartment complex that would need to be torn down to make way for the new stadium. Downtown developer Weston Urban owns the apartment complex and is also leading the development of the new stadium. They say that they will help those tenants relocate once the time comes.
An ongoing debate there. Well, and before we go to break, many of us have been either directly or indirectly affected by cancer, and that's especially true for Latinos. That's something that we discussed during yesterday's KSAT town hall. Dr. Emily Ramirez with UT Health San Antonio is leading a study to find out why so many Latinos are affected by cancer. We also discussed a new facility to treat cancer patients right here in San Antonio. It's called the Multi-Specialty and Research Hospital, and it's opening later on this year in December. You can scan the QR code that you see on your screen right there if you want to sign up for that study. And remember, you can still watch that town hall on our website or YouTube platforms, KSAT.com. All right, it is 6:42. We are fast moving here on a Wednesday morning, 66 degrees outside.
Just ahead, we're tracking Hurricane Milton before it pushes into Florida. We'll hear from our sister station in Orlando about what's going on right now on the ground.
6:45, welcome back. Well, this morning we're tracking Hurricane Milton as it barrels towards Florida's west coast. And of course, state officials are warning residents about the dangers of this storm as emergency crews gather at staging areas before landfall.
Let's take a live look right now. You're looking right here from a tower cam in Tampa, Florida. Again, it's getting more and more hazy since we started the show, a bit foggy almost. It's near the path of the storm. It's expected overnight into Thursday morning.
That's right. Yeah, definitely more haze out there since this morning. Mike DeForest, a reporter from our sister station in Orlando, is on the ground in that area as emergency energy companies getting ready for over 1 million predicted power outages.
Hurricane Milton will be arriving here in central Florida in just a few hours, but power crews are already in place. We are at a staging area for Duke Energy near the Villages. That's about an hour west of the Orlando area. And as you can see back there, there are hundreds and hundreds of power trucks standing by. Duke Energy officials say that once the storm passes through here, they expect those crews to be hitting the road with lots of work ahead of them.
But I can tell you, based on this projected path and intensity, we anticipate significant damage to our system, also to homes and businesses. And so customers need to be prepared now for extended power outages.
And be patient.
And be patient. So as you can see, these guys are working around the clock to get in. What they'll do is ride out the storm, and as soon as it's safe to do so, know that they're going to be out there getting the lights back on.
There was concern with Hurricane Helene hitting this area a couple weeks ago that all the power crews would be diverted either to northern Florida or into North Carolina and Georgia, and that may strain some of the resources, but I can tell you from being here, central Florida is plenty ready for this storm. Now we just got to wait for it to pass and see where that damage ends up. Reporting in Sumter County, Florida, I'm Mike DeForest.
I don't think I've ever seen a parking lot filled with that many trucks like that getting ready to go out.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, CPS Energy crews also making their way out there to help those folks out.
Yeah, and you can see why. I mean, it is going to be a significant and powerful storm by the time it does reach the western coastline of Florida. I want to get to the latest on Milton. We just got it in within the past 15 seconds, a little bit early, the brand new 7 a.m. update from the National Hurricane Center, and it has weakened ever so slightly. Pressure has come up to 915 millibars, winds at 155 miles per hour. So that actually now makes this a high-end Category 4 hurricane. And one of the reasons why it is weakened ever so slightly, if I had to guess, it looks like over the past couple of scans we've seen here from the satellite imagery, the eye is not as pronounced. This is likely going through what we call an eye wall replacement cycle. This can temporarily weaken systems like that and strong hurricanes. So no longer a Category 5, but still a high-end Category 4. One of the reasons why Milton has been able to maintain that strength is because of the warm waters, the Gulf of Mexico in the low to mid 80s. So that's just another fuel for Milton to use as it continues on its final approach to the Sunshine State. Again, no impacts to Texas will be found from Milton, but you can see it is still expected to make landfall near or just south of Tampa Bay late tonight and into early Thursday morning, cross over the Florida Peninsula, weakening as it does so, but still will be that hurricane status, and then it will work its way into the western Atlantic by tomorrow afternoon. Storm surge peaking upwards of 10 to 15 feet near Tampa, stretching down to Fort Myers. Of course, high winds and also heavy rain up to 12 to even 18 inches in localized locations, depending on where the heaviest of the rain bands set up. So we will continue to keep you posted on additional developments with Milton throughout the remainder of the day and even into the second half of the work week as they continue to pick up the pieces after it does make landfall. But back here at home, it is quite the opposite and a different story here in San Antonio. 66 comfortable degrees in the Alamo City. Plenty of sunshine expected throughout the day. Low humidity, 87 expected around lunchtime, and a forecast high right around 95. If that verifies, it will be breaking records. The record high for today is 94, set back in 2014. Low to mid 90s will be the theme across the vast majority of south central Texas. Still holding on to those mid 90s throughout the remainder of the work week, but notice into early next week, potentially some changes in the form of a fall-like cold front that could work its way into parts of the state of Texas. An area of low pressure working through the eastern half of the state could be strong enough to allow a frontal boundary to work through the state of Texas. Cooler and drier air filtering in its wake, potentially bringing us some of the coolest temperatures that we've seen since early May, with lows in the 50s and highs closer to the 80-degree mark. Now, we still have some time to monitor it. It's a ways away, about a week away. The October 15th and 16th time frame would be when we monitor that. So, bottom line, check back for updates, and hopefully we see those consistent trends continue. Until then, warmer than average highs, plenty of sunshine. Lows will be very comfortable and seasonable.
I feel the optimism in your voice.
I'm trying really hard. We've been patient.
All right, let's do a quick check here of our TransGuide traffic cameras. And biggest trouble spot I'm seeing at the moment is going to be 35 at Olympia. Looks like we have some ongoing construction out there, Jaffney.
Yeah, let's get on out to the roads with Alex Gomez. He's moving. The last time we saw, let's see what's happening right now. How you doing, Alex?
Yeah, good morning, Jaffney. Well, downtown traffic definitely getting better. I just left that lower level 35 northbound at San Pedro. We started that hour with that area closed, but just to get to that same exact point from Highway 90 only took about a few minutes, so the congestion definitely has thinned out this morning downtown, Jaffney.
All right, Alex, good to hear that.
Yeah, and good to see Alex on this Wednesday morning. Okay, guys, 6:52 right now, 66 degrees outside.
Take a live look outside at the city of San Antonio. Again, good morning. Coming up next, we got a last check of your forecast. Welcome back, man. Before we head out, let's take a last look at our roads, RJ.
That's right, yeah. So 35, just check the map, and it looks like we are backed up southbound lanes at Olympia all the way to Schertz Parkway. So unfortunate news for our drivers northeast side of town if you're about to step out. 35 south at Olympia Parkway. Pretty good backup out there.
And it is comfortable to kickstart this Wednesday. We've got temperatures in the 60s, even some upper 50s across portions of the hill country. Plenty of sunshine, not just today, but over the next 7 days. Unfortunately, that means no notable chances for rain. Hotter than average daytime highs continue for now. At least mornings will be very comfortable and fall-like to step out to, especially this weekend. Get out and enjoy those mornings and evenings, and we'll monitor for potentially some cooler weather to at least work its way closer to us into next week.
It's coming.
Yes.
It's coming.
Hey, shout out to Mia. She's been on a marathon schedule.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's always fun with you guys.
I'll see you guys later.